Recording in progress. That's a good impression of her.
Yeah, we'll let it off with the American accent this week, eh?
Okay, recording in progress. Yes, because it's MAGA. It's going to be mega MAGA.
Might be a while till it's mega, but we'll get there in the end, hopefully. We've had a time, don't know, turn of the century.
Okay, quiet in the studio. We are now going to do a quick roundup of everything that's going on. And in the meantime, we will slag Labour off. Indeed.
Yes.
Because they need slagging off. We need some mega MAGA in this country. Don't we, Trevor?
No, we don't need slagging. We slag each other off.
Indeed.
They fall in pieces in front of our eyes. I can't wait. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. It's like a McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Did you like that message from Donald to us?
What can I say? That's his second message, that.
I know.
He must like us.
Yes, he must. And I have to say that he did comment on the fact that the podcast was shorter without Steve.
Well, he pays attention.
He pays attention, and he's a very clever man.
He is indeed, because he's
Not
back.
Steve.
No, not Steve. No. No. Anyway, right. So we know that you're Stats.
Yes.
And we know that you're the Gazelle.
I hear the same.
And I know that I am the absolutely fabulous podcast host of this wonderful podcast called Cheshire Matters because President Trump said so.
There he goes.
Yeah, really.
He did say that I talk too much as well, but you know,
He likes that.
you got to take the good with the bad. All right. Okay. This is a roundup of things. Let's go on to the first one. Now, this is going to please Mark. More than 70 arrested at London protest against Israel's war in Gaza. Now, these are the Palestinian people.
No,
the Palestinian protesters.
Sorry, it's renamed the Corbyn riot.
Are you sure? Oh, yes, because he was there, wasn't he?
Well, I'm not being funny. If Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson throw mud at them and it sticks for something, they weren't even there. One of them wasn't even in the country. They never spoke about it. They said the opposite, don't cause trouble. But if they were there riots, then Jeremy Corbyn and John McDonnell were at this protest. They were at the front. They were holding banners. And it kicked right off, didn't it?
It did. Now, tell me something. Let's remind ourselves. How many people were arrested at the Unite the Kingdom gathering?
Yeah, it was like one for being drunk or something, wasn't it? One or two.
And we're talking
77 and counting because they're still looking for people.
Yeah, but the point is, Mark, sorry, there was 777 that should have been in the past, in the past protests. This is the first time that I can remember when they were arrested. And I think, what's happened?
Say that again.
I can explain what happened. They've been naughty.
What's happened? Yeah, but they've been naughty in the past and they've just got away with it. Two Kia steer. Two Kia.
He's got that many nicknames.
Free Kia steer. Free Kia Kia.
Two Kias Kia. Tip-top, flip-flop. That's what he's known as. But it's been so blatantly two-tiered in the past. So what's changed?
I'll tell you what's changed. This one, they were meant to they had restrictions in place. It was meant to be a static protest. But then what a lot of them did, and the police have said this was some of the leaders of the protest, actually started to move everyone and go on a moving protest. Now, the police, I think, said to them, look, you're breaking your conditions. So they forced the way past the police. So they arrested the leader of the event.
That was Chris Nynham, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Stop the War Coalition fella. And they arrested him. In fact, the Met Police said, and I'll quote them, they said they were quite confident this was a coordinated breach with the intention being to reach the BBC at Portland Place in defiance of the conditions. There is video footage of one of the organisers clearly inciting the crowd to join a march, and one of the organisers involved released a statement confirming as much. And I read that it was on social media. Hopefully they'll be banged to rights here, and this could hamper future protests. Because let's be honest, this is a good excuse to put this to bed now. This has gone on for way too long.
Way too long.
Look,
and
they have the ceasefire or whatever, and they're still not happy. They still want to go
out. Well, the Met commander, Adam Slonecki, that's a good old English name, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
From Blackbridge.
Who led the policing operation, said this is the highest number of arrests we have seen in response to the most significant escalation in criminality. What?
Wow. Criminals.
They've been getting away with what I would say is such a lot, in the past. Now, all of a sudden, and I saw posts on X, which were actually turning around and saying the Met Police are, a bunch of bastards, and all sorts of things, and they should be kicked out of a job, and all these different things. They're the ones, and I put a post up that said, "Oh, shoe on the other foot now, is it?"
Yeah, they're such hypocrites.
I should have said sandal, shouldn't I?
When it's the right protesting and the batons come out and everyone gets a beating, where's our freedom of assembly then?
Yeah.
Why come these little hypocrites have a little meltdown? They'll stand there literally in the crowd saying, arrest him, and then they'll get arrested themselves and they start crying. It's like, what are you talking about? And you read something like the trash, like The Guardian, and they're like, oh, there was a protest and people had signs for Gaza. No, tell people what the signs were people got arrested for, pro-Hamas and ones with swastikas on. Those ones. Who are the real bad guys here? I'm
having a little light bulb moment here at the minute, actually, and now you've mentioned that. I'm seeing something here. As if they've done the two-tier stuff for 6 months while Labour have been in. And then all of a sudden...
disappears.
It disappears, right? And they turn round. And they're actually on the side of the people that have actually got it right. Yep. So what they do is they spend 6 months looking like the bad guy, and then they turn it round to say, we're actually on your side. And everybody says, yay, vote for Keir. Keir's on our side. Hey, this is wonder.
Trev, Labour are that stupid. They're missing an open goal here. They've got a chance to have a go at Corbyn big time, because he could be their rival soon. And they're not going to do a damn thing, are they? And then listen to this. This is the Muslim Association of Britain. Talk about hypocrites. They criticised the Met's decision to block the march. They called it an outrageous assault on democracy, freedom of assembly and freedom of expression. Let's go back to the elections last year when a lot of MPs were getting threatened. Yep. Well, it wasn't our community doing it, wasn't it? Let's have a look. That was an assault on democracy with the Parliament and the Speaker and everything.
Yeah.
Freedom of expression. Oh, like that, is it? Are they really pushing this? So we're all right to, criticise your religion and your prophet, are we? Oh, no, we won't, will we? Because people will die for that. There'll be protests on this street. The place will get smashed up. Oh, they want a law as well. They're so two-faced and hypocritical. I'm just enjoying the fact that some of them finally got arrested.
I think you're going to start to see the pandering to Islam start to see it on the wane. I've noticed as well that our little pimple of a London mayor, Mr. Khan, I've noticed that, I get the feel that his influence is on the wane. And that it's all starting to come out, because isn't there an investigation into him about the tickets that he got for Taylor Swift's concert?
I hope so. He's come out with done an article, hasn't he? He's called Trump and all that, all the fascists.
Oh, he's an idiot.
I'll be honest, a lot of Labour have distanced themselves from the government and gone, no, we're not calling them fascists. Because one, it's just absolute lunacy and you sound like an absolute idiot. And two, they've got to do stuff with America. You can't be calling them Nazis and fascists.
No, he's definitely on his way out. I mean, I can tell you now, that will be part of any deals that Trump does. They'll say, get rid of him. And he is such a small pimple of a politician that they will get rid of him. They won't take a chance unless they're saying, well, okay, we've got no chance with the American administration. We're just going to go across to Europe. Now, if they do that, they're dead in the water, because Europe has to do business with the United States.
No, we're dead in the water.
No, we won't be dead in the water. They won't leave us completely out. What he'll do is he'll seek concessions. He's a businessman. He'll seek concessions and he'll force Starmer to bend the knee. That's what'll happen. And the rest of Europe will bend the knee as well, because otherwise he can just pull out of NATO. He can pull people out of the Five Eyes project. There's so many different things that, tools that he's got at his disposal that he can do it. Anyway, let's move on to something else. Oh, Elon Musk is funding, or is going to fund, Tommy Robinson's legal defense against the What was it, Mark?
I think it's his treatment now when he's in jail and stuff.
That's it.
And it's going to be the one where they're trying to get him on terrorism laws for not opening his phone for them. Because let's face it, he's got a lot of sensitive information on there about victims of rape gangs, and he's got stuff on politicians. Well, that's why they want to get in his phone, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, that Trump keeps spending like he does. He's going to end up, he won't have any money in.
Oh, listen, they've got money. Don't worry. They'll be okay.
I'll lend him a tenner, Muscovy skint.
Yep.
Yeah.
No problem. But him doing that will actually be another knife in the coffin of Labour, because Labour are not equipped to deal with the massiveness of what's against them over there. And especially if the tech billionaires and multi-billionaires who are about to become trillionaires suddenly go, right, we need regime change in Britain, because all Amazon have to do is just pull out. They just pull out. They just say, no, we're not going to invest in Britain. We're not going to do any more. We're out. And that's it. And as soon as Labour starts to see that collapse, they know that they're in a... Well, they're seeing it now, aren't they? So they know. You know?
Well, so my Fire Stick's going to stop working?
Yep.
You pack that in.
Just like TikTok did under Biden, and then it suddenly came back on after the inauguration. TikTok's back on. Creativity, yeah. Information for the Chinese. Yeah. Well, no, not quite. Not quite.
I think the law's still in place, though. It was just Trump gave them assurances.
Well,
oops.
Hasn't anybody ever heard of VPNs?
Mm.
Do you know? Anyway, okay, so that's another good sign. I mean, all right, Tommy is, he's got his faults, just like anybody has. But he doesn't deserve what he's getting, the treatment he's getting now. There's something very suspicious
No one
about
does.
it.
What's he on now? Something like day 72 in solitary, and after like 72 hours, you're meant to have real assessments to check your mental health. They're just trying to break him, but he won't let them, will he?
And shut him up. It won't happen. And I think because he sees it now, and he's going to be helped by some pretty big people over in the States. I think Starmer's going to start to get the message. I mean, all I can see is him going out and on the world stage trying to enhance his own reputation by giving away a lot of our money that we haven't got. I mean, he can give away $3 billion a year for the next 100 years to Ukraine, if the war goes on for that long, but yet not 1.6 billion, is it, for the pensioners' fuel allowance? And those
Trump's in today. Trump's in today, and he said the war's going to be over tomorrow in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So that's sorted.
But by the time this podcast comes out, it should have already finished.
That's right.
A bit of luck, it's already sorted out. Gaza.
Yeah.
That's a mess that no one's ever going to be able to sort
out. No. Well, I'm telling you now, if, as far as I'm concerned, if they're going to be giving away money like that to enhance their own reputations, get them out. It's going to become obvious. I mean, if you can't spare 1.6 billion, I think it is, for winter fuel allowances for the pensioners, why all of a sudden are you actually going out into all the towns, Cheshire West and Chester, and saying, Labour Control Council are going to be doing something for you? Why did Labour take away the winter fuel allowance in the first place? And you're giving away all this money in foreign aid. I mean, and David Lammy, where was he? He was in another country, wasn't he, saying, yes, we have to look after children. Really? Really, David?
Yeah, Labour in their best place for that, are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
No. All these different things have got to be brought to bear. And everything that they're doing, they have to realize that when they're out, there will be retribution. People will be coming back for you. If you think you're going to get away with everything that you're doing now and suppressing the people in the way that you are, there will be retribution. Come on, where's that Rupert Lowe? We need him out there. Trevor, where's Rupert?
We need someone.
Rupert? I don't know. And you keep mentioning bears. You mentioned bears 3 times. Mary had a little bear,
Oh, yeah.
She also had a lamb. Yeah, I've often seen Mary Bear, but I've never seen a lamb. Now, I just thought I'd let you know that Rupert, I've not got a clue where Rupert is, but I think he should be leader before long of reform, before we start going down the pan.
Oh, yeah.
And Nigel should stay over there in America where he is, where he enjoys it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's not doing anything over here at the minute. I mean...
Trump can just dismiss the ambassador and say, I'm having him. I'm having Nige.
Yeah, I'm having Nige.
Well, I mean...
He's done it before.
Well, let's hope it happens, because we've got Mandy. Oh, Mandy.
No, they'll get rid of him. It's not actually written in stone that they're going to accept him. That's it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, what's his space? I mean, what's that one? Definitely. Mandelson. I mean, Mandelson, Lammy.
Yeah.
You know, Angela Rayner, Dame Angela Rayner, and the rest of them. They don't fit in, do they? They really don't fit in. What does
Lee Anderson call her? He calls her no-brainer Rayner.
No-brainer Rayner. Yeah, I haven't heard that one, but I've lost track of reform over the last couple of weeks, as you can imagine. But I don't know what. It's a bit negative.
They're being ridiculed left, right, and centre.
Well, as I say, I can't. I just can't see any credibility from any of them. I'm on about Labour at the minute. When I see it, they don't look right.
No.
I mean, I know the Tories had the faults and all that, but when they spoke, you sometimes did listen.
Yes.
But when Labour actually speak, whether it be Rayner, whether it be Reid, whoever it is, you just turn away from it.
Yeah.
They can't. They don't engage with you. They don't engage with me for a fact. But I mean, I just can't. I don't know what it is. I can't word it. But when they speak, I just turn away.
They're out of their depth. They can't operate on a world stage.
That's a good way of putting it, that, Jonathan. They're out of the depth. Yeah, you're right there. You're out there.
They are way out the depth.
In fact, I was out my depth today because I was going a bit of a culture trip today because I'm getting away from things at the minute, and I thought I'll go down to the lake today and I'll paint some watercolours of crested grapes. You know what you do? No, I was going to do it today. Then I remembered I don't live anywhere near a lake, and to make things worse, I know stuff all about birds actually. So that don't. And if a crested grape come up and pecked me on the ass, I wouldn't know what it was. And then I thought, well, I'm pretty rubbish at painting, so there we go. Anyway, so I went to the pub instead for a few beers. I mean, that's you know.
And a pot pie.
I went down to the pub, got a few beers to support our local, breweries and our local publicans as
well done. Well done, that man.
Play. That's what I did. So my culture trip didn't work out very well today, but it don't matter. There'll always be another one.
Well, I've actually painted a pair of blue tits.
Oh yeah, well I've done that once. Yeah, you slapped my face. But I'm sorry, I'm on about. Well, as I say, I don't know anything about birds, so I'm not going on about that.
You can tell these birds were prehistoric creatures when you look. When you look, it's that heron that we picked up. You know, when we said on one of the podcasts, and you can see it. You know, you can see that they are, lizard-like in the way that they are, in the way that they look.
Yeah, like the royal family. Yeah.
Do you know what? I was just about to say that myself. That's quick. I thought I'm in there. Have we got any other? Can I mention a couple?
Go on.
We're gonna have to go there eventually, aren't we? But before we do, we'll look at the. They finally found the far right, didn't they?
Oh,
found them. Well, they found one anyway. So there was a neo-Nazi who was... So this is going to be interesting because he was given 22 years for stabbing someone from Eritrea, right?
Yeah.
And he never even killed him. Now, I'm not condoning going out and stabbing people. Do you know what I mean? No. And, to be honest, he's got a manifesto. He thinks he's saving England. I'm not being funny, mate, but, stabbing one foreigner, it is not going to do anything, mate. In fact, it's detrimental. You're now in prison. Be better off fighting the actual people who are letting them in. Politically and trying to get rid of them. But no. So they finally find the far right and he gets 22 years for attempted murder. So it's going to be interesting this week or whenever we get round to some of these trials, actually, the completion of them.
What, to see what the sentencing of Rudy Cabana is?
Well, exactly, because he's not allowed a life. He can't have a life sentence because he's under 21. But it's going to have to be at least the same as this guy. It can't be any less than that, surely.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Mark, let's see it. Because, and if anything goes on, you daren't protest because you'll be jailed. You daren't say anything because you'll be jailed.
Well,
you know,
doesn't
you'll
that
end
go
up
to
getting
demonstrate?
You'll get 22 years if boat's got.
Doesn't that go to demonstrate that we're living in a dictatorship?
Yes, disgusting.
But like Trev said on the last podcast we did, there was a guy who got a minimum sentence of 22 years and was out after 14. Was it 14? Yeah.
14, yeah.
So, and did he actually kill someone? Well, this guy hasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning Nazis,
to
be honest with you.
He killed a schoolboy.
Exactly. But this lad hasn't killed anyone. But because of all his Hitler stuff and all that stuff, I think it's about time we brought back capital and corporal punishment for the Nazis, the nonces, the Islamists. Let's get rid of them all.
Yeah, and the grooming gangs as well. Bring it back from them.
They're Islamists. Do you know what? I hate that word, Islamists.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Jihadis. Get rid of them all.
Get rid of them all.
Jihadis, nonces. Bye-bye.
Yeah, get rid of them all. But you don't. The nonces don't get it.
No.
The nonces don't get it.
No,
these vile murderers.
We're riddled with all of it, mate. We're not that riddled with Nazis. There's few and far between. But these jihadis and these nonces, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got to be consistent. It's got to be consistent.
And yet, Yvette Cooper is giving a limited inquiry into 10 areas. All right, literally. But they've got no powers, legal powers, to force people to come in.
It's another whitewash, isn't it, John? It's rinse and repeat, the same thing. Outrage, inquiry, outrage, inquiry, and on and on and on and on, and keep ignoring the elephant. Keep ignoring it. It's nothing to do with this religion. It's nothing to do with this. But white people, there's more paedophiles who are white. No one's ever going to face up to this, are they? It's just going to carry on and carry on and carry on.
Well, what I said,
just led by utter cowards.
What I said was I was so incensed, but also inspired by what Elon Musk is alleged to going to be due for Tommy. Okay, that I actually said that he basically is being treated in the same way that Russia treated Navalny. He's a political prisoner. And it's because they don't want the information coming out about different things. And they want to try and break the spirit because they do not want a movement like the MAGA movement. They don't want that. You know, and Tommy, for whatever you think about him, actually does represent a form of patriotism in this country.
Big movement, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Because no one else is like we spoke on the last podcast about having someone brave who's just going to do the right thing regardless of what's thrown at him. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but he's probably the only person in this country who even comes close to that.
Yes, that's right.
Like you said, he's got his faults. So, yeah, maybe politically he's probably never going to get the chance, the Nigels and all that, because he just gets crucified.
Yeah. But it's only a manipulation. The law is only a manipulation. And after a while, it's only a greater power that comes in, because that's how this country was taken over in the first place. When the Normans came over, they took it by force. And I don't know what, politically, what that force is, but I think it's starting to look like America. And that once that force starts to take a grip, I can see the likes of Starmer getting squashed.
Well, it's going to be a big day Thursday, isn't it? Because apparently this Ruda Cabana trial is going to be over by then. He's pled guilty. They're putting forward no defence. So you're just probably going to hear a few days of the prosecution's evidence. Yeah. And then the jury will make their decision.
No, the jury won't. No, there won't be a jury. There's no trial.
No trial. He's already pleaded guilty.
So it's going to be the judge then setting out his sentencing guidelines after they hear some evidence, and then we're going to know. And if he gets less than 22 years, I'm sorry, but I mean, I don't want a repeat of what happened in the summer. But I'm really worried that if this isn't taken seriously, which I think it will be, to be honest, I think they'll give him the maximum of whatever they can.
They're going to have to. Because it's the world stage that is looking at this country now.
Black Belt Barrister might have already put something out about the possible sentencing guidelines, or maybe he's being a little bit careful too until it's all finished. But
we need good people that are actually going to be top-line people, top-line legal, who can actually fight against the Attorney General, okay? And the money that they put behind these legal actions, because that's the only thing that stops people from going at things. And I've just got one more thing just to mention before we go. Trevor, is it true that Richard Tice and Isabel Oakeshott have gone across to Dubai?
She's always there, isn't she?
To be honest, I don't know.
She's there quite a bit, yeah.
Because they're coming in for a lot of criticism on X, okay, about criticizing immigrants coming to this country when they're an immigrant in Dubai.
Well, if you're only going on holiday, you're not an immigrant, are you?
No, this is not.
No, it's not. Every time a lot of the time she's interviewed on Talk, she's in Dubai.
She's in Dubai.
Well, if he's in Dubai, and first of all, to answer your question, Jonathan, I don't know because I've severed all ties with Reform at the moment, which I'll be announcing soon.
Okay.
And
you've just announced now.
Just have.
No, that was only a joke.
Oh, right. Okay.
But people don't know when I'm joking or when I'm not joking anymore. So anyway, in answer to that, I mean, Richard Tice shouldn't be over there at the minute because he's a member of Parliament, so he should be in Parliament.
This is what I was going to say.
Yeah, so no, I've not heard that, but I should say no, he's not in Dubai because he's supposed to be in the Houses of Parliament. They're already off for 5 to 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
So no, he should be in Parliament. He shouldn't be over there. He should be in his constituency, like our MP is Charlotte Nicholls. She's always here. If I wanted to knock on her door,
when he gets mad, right? His camera and everything shakes because he's like,
if I wanted to knock on her door tomorrow,
I'm drunk here watching them.
She would say, Trevor, what do you want? Through letterbox, because she's got a bomb.
Here's an example.
She'd say, Trevor, what do you want, mate? And I say, Shaz, I want a word with you. And she'd open the door because she's always in the constituency.
I didn't know there was an earthquake in Warrington. There's one in Ellesmere Port just now.
Tell you what, you and Shaz should go to the pub and thrash some of this out.
Oh, but I've done many times, but she won't admit it.
Meet on common ground, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Listen, mate, with her track record, I would not meet her in any dark alley.
You'd be on that list, mate.
It would have to be well lit with 7 witnesses.
Well, on that note, cue the music. Well, that was a great conversation and nice to end it on a happy note where we're laughing.
But it wasn't happy, actually, because I was in the chemist today.
All right, what happened?
And the bloke was talking to me, he said, Sir, will you please understand you can't have depressant tablets without a proper prescription. Simply showing your marriage certificate's not enough. And then they left.
Very good. Very good. We like that. We like that. Oh, Jesus. Well, okay. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye to our lovely listeners and viewers.
Bye.
Goodbye from him. Goodbye from him. Goodbye.
Bye, lovely people. Don't forget, vote Trump.
Yes. What do you mean? He's already here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot.
Next time.
It's been a bad day today.
Going for 3 terms, isn't he?
Yeah, get in there. I hope so.
Okay. Everybody leave on a smile.